Hello, everyone. Welcome to the World Tapping Circle. I'm your host, Sophia, and you are here with me and so many others all over this planet who are all using EFT, their own consciousness, their own two hands, to release old patterns, to process feelings and events so that we can have a clean, clear connection to ourselves, to our own truth, to our power, and to our capacity to love and change this world. Doing that from the inside out. So I am so grateful that you are taking this time for yourself, whether you're here live with us or you're watching this on replay at a later time. If you're here live, say hi to us in the chat. Let us know where you're logging in from so that we can see the size and the scope of this space that we're holding out in the giant cosmos. And while you say hello, I'm going to talk a bit about the theme here. Today's theme is on forgiveness. So this is a session to wrap up this huge span of time that we've been moving through together, being able to complete things that feel incomplete and heal places inside of us that have been holding on. So for me, I was at the dentist today having a tooth pulled out of my head, and I wasn't sure I was going to be able to make it to Circle tonight. I thought maybe I would be in too much pain or too swollen. I'm actually really fine. I did a lot of meditating in the dental chair, and one of the things I learned in that meditation was about the energy of trust and how trust allows us to heal two primary malfunctions that happen in our species. One being the energy to kind of make something happen, to be relentless, to never let go, to push, to force, and the other is to never forgive. So you could say one is sort of the victim-perpetrator combo, that the pushing can be a perpetration that can be chronic, whether we're doing that towards someone else in our minds, towards ourselves, towards family members, and that takes up so much energy. It actually keeps us stuck, spiraling and swirling again and again on an endless loop, trying to get off and not knowing how, always forcing, carrying on, never letting go. And the other side is this feeling of being victimized, picked on, hurt, abused, traumatized, and feeling scarred, feeling so traumatized or hurt that part of us has shut down and doesn't know how to forgive because that pattern of pain has been looping so long. And part of us wants it to be rectified, and part of us thinks that it's going to be rectified by some sort of vengeance or some sort of apology or some sort of seeing someone else pay for it or suffer or be punished. So as we find this place inside of us, as we wrap up this year, we can see where we have this energy inside of us. Again, it can be towards myself, where I've been unwilling to forgive myself, or towards another, where I've been forcing myself or trying to force a situation or force something and not willing to surrender, or I've been feeling victimized either by circumstances, other people, or by something I've done habitually to myself. So hopefully this rings a bell for you. And the key, the golden, beautiful key, is here. We are going to use this session to release ourselves from this wheel, from this time of suffering that has been a chronic habit, either just in our lifetimes, or maybe it's an old family habit, maybe it's an ancestral habit that comes with the cultural conditioning from the genetic race, and maybe it's all of that. So I know that may be a big concept, but it's actually very simple. And as I created this video for you, I want you to know that all of these videos, and specifically this one, they're meant to be used again and again and again. So they're so open-ended that you can find different ways to bring forgiveness. I don't recommend you try to clear your entire life and all your karma in one big bite, but use this as like the toothbrush of love, and you're going to just take some time and go in and intricately work through these places that have kept you stuck, because what's on the other side is unity. What's on the other side is peace. What's on the other side is balance. What's on the other side is trust. And this beautiful feeling of flow and connection. And this is what our race is working towards. We are evolving through time and space in these bodies with this DNA, through this mind, through this heart, through this breath that you have right now. And so as you release the suffering inside you, it also changes dynamics in your family, dynamics about how things show up and interact with you in the world, and dynamics of how life goes on planet Earth, right? Because our culture is made of people, and the way things go is decided by the people. So as we come into alignment with peace, real peace, inner peace, that is rippled out in our work, in our words, in our actions, and in the way we govern ourselves and what we choose to do. And that's why we're doing it. Besides that, it just feels really good to get all that stuff out of you and have more space to be yourself. So that space is going to be filled, right? As you release and you cleanse, that space will be filled with something. So as you create space, even though it's been such a tradition to hold on to these things, this feeling of suffering or this, I don't know how to forgive, right? As we go in, we're also creating a beautiful, natural, empty, gorgeous new space for you to move something more valuable, more precious, more exquisite, more useful into yourself, into your heart, into your mind, and thus into the world. All right, so that's a lot to think about. I'm going to say hi to all of these gorgeous people here in the chat, and then we're going to get to tap in. Hi, Christina. I'm super happy that you're here. Hi, Shelley in Chicago. Hi, Diane in Bellingham, Washington. Elena in Port Angeles, Washington. William says, this is exactly what I'm struggling with. Well, there you go. Meditation gets it every time. Jennifer says, hello, lovely beings. Sending my love from Tacoma, Washington. Karen, hello in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Tara in Chicago. Prema in India. Good morning, my dear. Hugs in Bonaire, in the Caribbean, from Myrtle. Sabrina in Queens, New York, and Natosa in Mount Shasta, California. Binta in Washington. Nicole in Pennsylvania. Diane in California. Shodo in Minnesota. Joan, Marblehead, Massachusetts. Bradley in Georgetown. Tracy in British Columbia. Joyce, hello. I'm so glad Marianne and Vicky and Josephine, everybody is here. Hi, Ekaterina. I don't even know how to say your name, my darling, in Arizona. Bernie in Vancouver. Reva. There's so many people in circle today. I'm so glad. I'm sorry if I didn't have time to say hi to everyone. Rhea, Hannah, Seth, Mariah, welcome. And all those who aren't using the chat and who are in the future. All right, so we are going to tap into forgiveness, the universal solvent and resolvent, this agent of change, because the time has come. As you can see, we have our hourglass running, and our beautiful little quail friend has joined us today, holding space for our evolution as we clear and restore ourselves. All right, so we're going to do the core causes questions. We're going to jump in to that for 5 minutes on the topic of forgiveness. Where do you want to aim this forgiveness? Towards yourself, towards someone else, towards the year? Where do you want to put it? Remembering that you can use this hundreds of times if you want to. Always in your video library at worldtappingcircle.com. I'll see you guys in 5 minutes. All right, welcome back. Are you ready to start tapping? You ready to go into the matrix and change our reality and change our world from the inside out? Let's go. I love that part. Finding your collarbones, dropping down to the front of the chest, massaging the front of your chest, big deep breath. Repeating after me, filling in the blanks to personalize this for yourself. Even though I find it really difficult to forgive, and then say the one thing that you're going to focus this session on. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tapping the eyebrows. Even though I find it really difficult to forgive, sliding down the eyebrows to the temples, and say what it is that you're focusing on. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Big deep breath. Tapping the front of the cheeks. I accept the part of me that's holding on to this pain. Tapping under the nose. This pain of, and then describe what it is that's holding on inside you. Is it anger towards yourself? Is it a feeling of being totally messed up or screwed over? Tapping under the lips. Take 30 seconds to explain the situation. Big deep breath, keep tapping and talking. Tapping the front of the chest, keep talking. And breathe. Tapping down to the front of the ribs. I accept the part of me that has been holding on to this for how long? Is it just this year? Is it your entire life? Does it feel like lifetimes? And breathe. Big deep breath, tapping the side of the ribs. I'm open to loving and accepting myself, even with the part of me that is really stuck here. Big deep breath, tapping the inside of the wrist. Part of me feels, and then say how you feel about this situation. Do you feel hopeless? Do you feel exhausted? Do you feel alone? Big deep breath. Tapping the side of the thumb. I accept for now this feeling of, and say that feeling again. Tap the index finger. And these other feelings of, what else do you feel here? Maybe you feel confused or overwhelmed, tired, furious. Big deep breath. Tap the middle finger. All these feelings of, and list those feelings again. And breathe. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. A part of me is tired of holding on to this energy. Tap the little finger. And breathe. And tapping the side of the hand. It takes a lot of energy to hold these feelings inside my body and inside my mind. Tap the top of the head. It takes a lot of energy to suppress them. Tapping the sides of the head to keep myself from thinking about it. Tap the eyebrows to avoid falling apart or blowing up or breaking down. Tapping the temples and breathing. Tapping the front of the cheeks. I'm open to loving and trusting myself. Tapping under the nose. As I work myself through this, tapping under the lips and out the other side. Tapping the chest and breathing. So what's the strongest negative feeling associated with this issue for you? Tap the front of the ribs and say that feeling. We're going to focus on this for just a minute. Maybe it's anger, maybe it's grief, sadness, fear. Big deep breath and just say this, for example, fear. Tap the side of the ribs, say it again. This, and then say your feeling again. Fear. Big deep breath, just focusing on that energy, that feeling in your body about this issue. Tapping the inside of the wrist. I'm open to loving and accepting myself. Tap the side of the thumb. Even though there's still so much, and then say your feeling again. About this topic, tap the index finger. And I don't know how to get past it yet. Big deep breath. And breathe. Tapping the middle finger. I accept the part of me that does not know how to get past this. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. And may not want to get past this yet. That's okay. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger and down to the little finger, back to the inside edge, and breathe. Tapping the side of the hand. What reasons could you have for holding on to this? What hidden gain is there? Does it give you strength? Does it make you feel powerful? Does it keep you from feeling sad, or does it protect you? It may not totally make sense, this reason, but on some level, you're doing what you think is best for you from the place that you were in when this situation happened. Tapping the top of the head. A part of me believes that if I let this go, what bad thing do you think would happen? Do you think you would be taken advantage of, or the person who's responsible would never learn or apologize, or that they would get by with it? Tapping the back of the head and breathing. And tapping the eyebrows. I accept this part of me. Tapping the temples. That thinks I need to hold on to this feeling of, say that negative feeling. Tapping the cheeks. In order to protect myself from what? Tapping under the nose. And in order to do what? What are you trying to accomplish by holding on to this pain? Tapping under the lips. Tapping the chest. Be really honest here. Are you trying to protect your ego? Are you trying to save face? Is there a part of you that wants revenge? Big deep breath, tapping the front of the ribs and breathing. I'm open to loving and accepting myself, tapping the side of the ribs. Even with this part of me exactly as it is right now, big deep breath, just opening your heart to this part of you that's had this old strategy for some time, maybe a really long time. It thought it was the best solution at the time, and it might have been. Tapping the inside of the wrist. I deeply and completely accept myself. Big deep breath. Tapping the side of the thumb. Even if I never let go of this strategy, and say what your strategy is, your secret hidden gain of making sure that that part of me learns the lesson, or making sure that I stay safe from what? Tap the index finger. I'm open to the possibility of surrendering this hard place inside me. Big deep breath. Just to get my energy back. Tap the middle finger. Even if justice has never been served, tap the bottom of the fourth finger. Even if I'm afraid, what are you afraid will happen if you let go of this? Say it again and breathe. Tap the little finger. I'm open to the possibility of checking to see, is it really true? Check and see. Is that fear really justified? Is it true that you will never grow and learn and evolve if you let go of this attack towards yourself or towards someone else or towards life? Tapping the top of the head. I'm allowing myself to release the tension, this exhausting feeling of, and say what's there for you. Tapping the side of the head and the back of the skull. I'm allowing myself to begin to let go, tapping the eyebrows. To forgive myself for being so tangled up, tapping the temples. For holding on to this and burying it as deeply as I had to. Tap the temples and breathe. And tapping the cheeks. It's safe for me to release the pain, the anxiety, tapping under the nose, the confusion, tapping under the lips, and this belief. What belief is associated with this? Did you just say to yourself, well, I'm just stupid, or I'm a bad person, or they are broken, or they're never going to change? Tapping the chest. I'm releasing this old belief. Say that belief out loud 3 times. What is this limiting belief? Tapping down to the front of the ribs and breathing. And tapping the side of the ribs. I accept the part of me that has believed this is true. Tap the inside of the wrist. And has been living my life as if this were the truth. And tapping the side of the thumb and breathing. Tapping the index finger. I love and respect myself. Tap the middle finger. I'm allowing myself to get my energy back. Tap the middle finger and the bottom of the fourth finger. Allowing myself to forgive. Tap the little finger and breathe. Even if I'm not sure this deserves forgiveness, and it may not, tap the side of the hand. And there's a part of me that doesn't want to, and there's a part of me that knows I don't have to forgive. Tapping the top of the head and breathing. I can hold on to this till the day I die. And you can. You actually have free will. You have choice. Tap the back of the head and say, I don't have to forgive. I don't have to forgive. I don't have to forgive. Tap the eyebrows. And part of me is bored, tapping the temples, and tired of holding on to this, and then say what it is for you. Maybe it's feeling of being abused, or this feeling of mistrust. Tapping the cheeks. Tapping into the nose. I love and respect myself. Tapping under the lips. Tapping the chest. I want you just to listen for a second. I want you to understand something about why forgiveness is such a lifesaver. Not only does it make you feel better, but it actually keeps the situation from karmically looping and repeating itself through different avenues, through different relationships, different jobs, different cars, different scenarios, different family members. So if you want to get off that wheel and out of that loop, you get to stop the cycle, you stop the pattern. And you can't do it by fighting against it. You do it by resolving that energy within yourself, and then you're free. And then circumstances and people will shift around you. This puts you in a place of extreme power. And very few people choose it because it's such a humbling and semi-excruciating thing to do. So we're going to make this really easy and really sweet and really simple. Tapping the front of the ribs. I give myself permission to experiment with the energy of forgiveness in the area of, and then say the area you're focusing on. Tapping the side of the ribs. I'm curious to see what happens if I release the constriction. Tap the inside of the wrist, the turmoil, the feeling of injustice. Tap the side of the thumb. The habit of attacking myself or others in my mind. Big deep breath. Tapping the index finger. I forgive, and then say what you might be willing to forgive right now. Just for fun. You can always go back to hating and condemning and being uptight and sad and confused later if you want to. But for now, let's try it. I forgive. Say what it is. And breathe. Tap the middle finger. I'm open to the possibility of completely recovering my energy, my time, my attention. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. as I continue to forgive, and then say what it is or who it is that you're forgiving. I'm tapping the little finger and breathing. I love and respect myself. Tap the side of the hand. I give myself the possibility of releasing this from my body. Tapping the top of the head. And I forgive myself for any part of me that does not want to fully forgive yet. Tapping the eyebrows and breathing. Big, deep, noisy breath. Tapping the temples. This part of me that does not want to fully forgive. Tuning into it. Where do you feel that in your mind? Tapping the cheeks and talk about it. Take 30 seconds. Whatever part of you that's just like, no, can't, won't. Tapping under the nose. Give it some support. Keep talking. Tapping under the chin. Tapping the chest. This part of me that still wants what? What is it waiting for? What does it need? It wants to be heard, wants to be understood, wants to have things made up to it. Tapping the front of the ribs. I love and respect myself. Tap the side of the ribs. Even if there's a part of me that's still waiting for that, big, deep breath. And tapping the inside of the wrist. I accept the possibility that I might never get that. Big, deep breath. I might never get it. Tap the side of the thumb. But do I have to stay tangled up for eternity, waiting for something that may never happen? Tap the index finger and breathe. I give myself permission, tap the middle finger, to release this bondage, this twist and tangle between, and then say what it is, between you and a family member, between you and your higher self, between you and the year, between you and the divine, between you and God, between you and men, between you and women. Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. Say it again. I give myself permission to release, and then say what that tangle is for you. Tapping your little finger. It's safe for me to do this. Tapping the side of the hand. It is time for me to do this. Tapping the top of the head. I deserve to have peace, energy. Tapping the side of the head. Focus. Strength. Tap the eyebrows. And this new space inside of me. Tap the temples. I am reclaiming this sovereign space. Tap the cheeks. For what? What is it that you want to put in this space? Tapping under the nose. Something beautiful. Tapping under the lips. Something that has never been created in your life. Tapping the chest. I am getting my energy back. my life force. Tapping the front of the ribs, even if it means letting go of what? What are you letting go of? Feeling hurt, feeling manipulated. Tap the side of the ribs. Feeling ineffective. I am letting go of this. With compassion, I want you to send so much mercy and compassion to the situation, to yourself, for how long this has been a suffering place for you. Is sending love to yourself for having to endure this in the first place. And breathe. Tapping the side of the thumb. I receive this forgiveness. Forgiveness for any part of me that's judged myself, that's been afraid. Tap the index finger, and I want you to throw your hands up in the air and imagine this golden light streaming down as you bring your hands down, bathing your body with streams of golden light, kind of like confetti, and letting it be filled with forgiveness. And wherever it touches you, letting your skin soak it in, letting your breath take it deep into the most wounded place. This place that still feels unsure. Receive this sacred gift. And tapping the index finger, I give myself permission to feel released, to be absolved, to be healed. Tap the index finger. Letting go of any remaining, and then say what you're letting go of. Grief, anger, guilt. Big deep breath. Tapping the bottom of the fourth finger. It's safe for me to create a place of honesty, a place of love. Tap the little finger. What are you creating? Take 30 seconds and describe in the affirmative. So it's not going to say, I'm not creating this. It's, what are you creating? I am creating clarity. I am creating a feeling of having enough attention, love, energy. Take 30 seconds, tapping the side of the hand, and describe what you're creating. And breathe that into your body in this clean new space that is opening up, experimenting with the curious sensation of forgiveness. And letting that energy flow through you, and say who else is involved. Who do you think could use some forgiveness? Who may be involved in the situation? I'm forgiving my mother and father for however they affected the situation. I'm forgiving my sister, my brother. My ancestors. All the way back to the first woman and the first man. Tapping the eyebrows. I give myself the possibility of holding this peace. Tap the temples. And feel that peace in your body, and know that we're not doing this as a favor to anyone. We're getting our energy back, and we are commanding reality with the vibration of love, which is a coherent vibration. That means the chaos is searching for order, and as we hold this love inside of ourselves, we're saying, hey, chaotic life, align around this. This is our truth now. This is us taking leadership in our own lives and leadership on our planet for how we're steering this incoming new year. Tapping the chest. I create this beautiful sacred space, cleaning up any remaining resentment or betrayal. Tapping the front of the ribs, using this space and new energy. Tap the side of the ribs to create. What are you creating? Say it again. Take 1 whole minute and describe it as you tap the inside of your wrist. Big, deep breath. Speak it loud and proud. I hereby command and create what? And tapping the side of the thumb. I'm allowing this to be easy, surprisingly delightful. Tap the index finger. Natural and simple. Tap the middle finger. I'm anchoring this peace and prosperity inside myself for the benefit of myself and others. Tapping the bottom of the 4th finger. It's possible that everyone is learning and evolving in this situation, starting with me and rippling out to who's on that list of people involved in this, including my mom, my dad, the leaders, the politicians. Tap the little finger. I'm creating this benevolent wave of forgiveness. Imagine rays of light shooting out of your head, shooting out of your heart as it is filled from this glow that's still falling down from the heavens, filling you up and radiating out. It's freeing us all and everyone involved in this story and any stories similar to this. Tapping the side of the hand. I am doing this for myself, for my family, and for my species. Tap the top of the head. I am learning. We are evolving. Tapping the eyebrows. I am now creating trust. Tap the temples. Allowing the universe to bring knowledge and wisdom. Tapping the cheeks. Justice. Tapping under the nose. And peace. Tapping under the lips. And breathe. Tapping the chest. I hereby cause and create. Say again, in a nutshell, what are you bringing through now? Keep breathing. Say it one more time with everything you've got. And relax. tapping all over your body. Give yourself 5 loving statements. What would you most love to hear right now from someone who totally got you? Say it out loud. I love you. You are so beautiful. I trust you. I'm here for you. I believe in you. I'm proud of you. I'd love to know how you're feeling now. Put it in the chat. Let me know where you were on a scale of 1 to 10 with your issue before we started tapping, where you are now, and let me know what you're creating. What are you committed to creating with this new empty space? Even if it's, I'm going to do this tap 20 more times because I want all my life force back. If I said, hey, this is 20 hours of work and then you're totally free. It could be 20 minutes more, okay? It might not even be an hour left of work if you're not 100% finished. But I want you to know that it can end and it will end, especially if you put a little more loving attention in the mix. So I am going to look here in the chat in just a moment. It takes a second on my side for it to come in and see what it is that you're doing. Prima says, I feel disentangled, a 10 down to a 7. So you are gently releasing. Wonderful. Let's see what else I can see. It looks like my chat is a little bit stuck. Magnus, maybe you can fix that. And while he's doing that, oh, there comes some more. Heather says, thank you from Vermont, feeling very warm and peaceful. Karen says, a 10 to a 0. Ha, ha, ha. Wow. Let's see if I can scroll back up. I really get it this time. I just didn't want to forgive, but I see it very differently now. Thanks. You are so welcome, Karina. Sabrina says, I feel more. Adrienne says, thank you so much. A 10 to a 1, all caps. You are so welcome. Hannah says, feeling honorable. Intensity, a 10 down to a 4. Thank you again, Sonya, you beautiful rainbow warrior. Aw. Emily, a 7 to a 2. I am committed to creating a healthy, enriching, trusting relationship with my body. Thank you. Lana says, a 10 was a 5. To a 10. I'm guessing it was an intensity of a 10. It's dropped to a 5. I feel amazing, light and free. I am committing to continuing to tap and showing up each day. Awesome. Good choice, Lana. Sabrina says, I feel more electric. Jenny says, I was a 10 and I'm down to a 3. Boom. The tears flowed the whole time, but now I feel such a deep sense of peace. I am working to forgive myself and calling in the idea that I am worthy of divine masculine love. Thank you deeply, Sonya, for your healing love. Anyone who's working on relationship stuff, I did I think a 2 or 3 part series on that. So it will take you deep into the whole relationship cleanup. Basically, it's helping you focus on what happened in your childhood to see what your parents did and taking that imprint out of your nervous system. So that's work worth doing. It's not very expensive. It's on my personal website, sonyasophia.us, and also worldtappingcircle.com in the store section. So that might be the next step for you. A couple more of these, and then I'm going to play you an awesome song. Kate says, I'm still kind of convinced it's too late, but there is a crack of openness to thinking I might be wrong about that. Very good. We'll take a crack. Keep watering it. There'll be a flower growing up through that crack soon. Bernie says, an 8 to a 2, again uncovered a different feeling beneath. I feel space and peace now. I feel I can do this. Thank you. You are welcome, Bernie. Definitely a 7 to a 4, says Sabrina. Marianne says, big issues started at a 7, then shot up to a 10 with major realizations. Now about a 2. I am a finder of darkness and a bringer of light. Gorgeous. I'll read a couple more, and then as always, I'm going to sit and read all of the chats while we play this last song. Joyce, a 10 to a 2, honoring being free in my authentic self. I am a joyful golden gem, smiling and relieved. Beth says, thank you. I feel better, a 10 to a 6. I love you all, and I am so pleased that we are doing this together. Thank you for sharing this work with others in your life who are suffering. It spreads through word of mouth mostly. So bring them in. Let's make this new year a big, beautiful, shining, glorious year on planet Earth. Please donate to Circle if you can. It helps me give scholarships to people. Oh yeah, guess what, you guys? Something really special. This spring, I am going to do another EFT practitioner training. I had to cancel last fall. It is the thing I love the very most on planet Earth. It'll be here in Austin, Texas. I will send an email out tomorrow about it, but if you want to be first on the list, we will ping you personally if you send an email saying, put me on the waiting list, and we will put you first come, first serve. We're only taking 25 people. And it is about a year-long process, 6 weeks of work online, 10 days live in person. We do have protocols that we've checked with physicians that will keep everybody safe. Send an email to support@worldtappingcircle.com if you want to be on the list to be a certified, trained EFT practitioner through the Sophia School of Living Arts with me. All right, here's the song I promised, and the donate button is up. This song is called Forgiveness by Elephant Revival. I will see you in the new year. I love you all so much. See you in the circle.
I have become the devil to realize that I'm divine. And I have been living with demons, but last night I left them by the fire. And in my quest I seek forgiveness, and in my love I will forgive. Well, I have lied to see what truth is. Burns here, the smoke clears away. Oh, my love, I have returned to you. You were there all alone. Well, my head was turned. I have deceived many angels, including that one of myself. And I have been living in poverty because I couldn't see my wealth. And I've been defined by hate, and I've been defined by pain, by the powers invested. The waters wash it all away. Oh, my love, I have returned to you. You were there all alone. Well, my head was turned. my love, saturate me. Oh my love, room to breathe. Oh my love, completely surround me. Oh.